No rookie in WNBA history has ever forced an entire league to rethink itself. Caitlin Clark did it in one season, and she didn't do it quietly. This isn't about highlights or box scores. This isn't about the marketing machine or the magazine covers or the social media discourse that never seems to stop. This is about what happens when you put the most hyped player women's basketball has ever produced on a professional court full of grown women who have been doing this for decades. And she makes every single one of them change their mind about her. From the greatest scorer in league history, eating her own words on national television, to explosive trade rumors that dominated headlines in 2026, to an injury-plagued sophomore season that somehow couldn't diminish what she'd already built. What Caitlin Clark has accomplished in barely 60 professional games is something this sport has genuinely never witnessed before. Players don't do this. Rookies especially don't do this. And it all started with 3 words that nobody's been able to forget since the moment they were spoken. Before Caitlin Clark played a single minute of professional basketball, Diana Taurasi went on national television, sat across from Scott Van Pelt, and delivered the most talked-about line of the entire 2024 preseason. Reality is coming, and honestly, she had every right to say it. This is a woman with 20 years in the league, 3 WNBA championships, 6 Olympic gold medals, the all-time leading scorer in the history of the WNBA. If there was a single human being on this planet who had earned the authority to look at a rookie and say,
"Look, SVP, reality is coming."
Okay.
There's levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it.
Of course.
And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time.
Slow down. The pros are different. It was Diana Taurasi. And she wasn't being disrespectful about it either. She was being brutally honest in the way only a legend can be. You look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds in college gyms. But when you step into a league full of professional women who have dedicated their entire adult lives to this game, it's a completely different animal. Most people nodded along when she said it. Most analysts agreed. The general consensus was that Clark would be good, sure, but the transition would humble her like it humbles everyone. But here's where the story takes its first major turn. After actually sharing a court with Clark, after watching her operate up close, Taurasi's tone shifted entirely. She called Clark's young career nothing short of remarkable. She praised her love for the game, her relentless work ethic, and said the future was super bright. That's not a minor adjustment. When the greatest player in WNBA history goes from reality is coming to she's remarkable in less than a year, something extraordinary is happening. And what came next proved it wasn't just one legend having a change of heart. Caitlin Clark didn't just have a solid rookie season. She didn't just show flashes or exceed expectations. She systematically demolished records that had stood for decades and set new ones that may stand for decades more. She set the single-season assist record with 337 as a rookie. She broke the rookie scoring record with 706.
We saw Caitlin Clark is back. She just had 32 points. That was crazy. 8 rebounds, 9 assists. I mean, right there, almost having another triple-double. How hard is it or fun is it to play against Cece out there?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played her this season.
You haven't played her this season? Okay.
No, only had a chance to play her last season. But, I mean, she brings the show, literally with her game and then also with the fans on the road. Funny story. We played Indiana in Vegas last season. And my dad, he's a little bit of a a firecracker.
Okay.
And he,
that's where you get it from?
Yeah, I might get it from my dad, my mom too. And he was at a bar and someone was wearing a Indiana Fever 22 jersey. He was wearing Aces at the time, number 10. And my dad said, "Hey, I just want to let you know." He didn't tell me this till after the game, but he went up to the fan. He said, "I just want to let you know, the Aces got it tonight." And the fan was like, "We'll see about that." And I guess we happened to play and we won. And after the game, of all the people, he ran into that same fan.
Oh, wow.
After the game, and he was like, "What'd I tell you? What'd I tell you?" But no, I mean, playing against great players in this league is always super fun. Like, as a competitor, I know you look forward to just going toe to toe with people.
69 points. She became the first rookie in WNBA history to record a triple-double, and then turned around and did it a second time just to make sure everyone knew it wasn't a fluke. She drilled 122 three-pointers, the second most ever hit in a single WNBA season regardless of experience. She dropped 19 assists in a single game, a record that nobody saw coming from a first-year player. She became the fastest player in league history to reach the combined milestone of 200 points, 75 rebounds, and 75 assists. Took her just 15 games. The 300-100-100 milestone, 19 games.
Yeah, well, I've been a fan of her since she's been in college, and we exchanged while she was in college because I just love hoopers. You guys obviously see my game, and I see a lot of similarities. She knows how to get a bucket. She can create for herself. She can create for her teammates, and I just love her game. And it's fun playing against her. She brings a crowd every time, so I'm definitely gonna show up. But playing with her, I kind of just got to pick her brain a little bit and just see how she thinks and just how she moves as a teammate. And she's an amazing player. Indiana's definitely lucky to have her, but that's dope for her. She's told me she's liked me a lot, in college and stuff, but that's dope for her to show that praise, on TV and stuff. So she's one of my favorite players in the league as well.
Near unanimous Rookie of the Year. First team All WNBA as a rookie. And perhaps most importantly, she dragged the Indiana Fever, a franchise that had been completely irrelevant for the better part of a decade, to their first playoff appearance since 2016. A team people had written off suddenly mattered again, and everyone knew exactly why. But all of those numbers, as absurd as they are, only tell part of the story. The real evidence of what Clark was doing to this league showed up in the faces and words of the players who had to guard her every single night. A'ja Wilson is arguably the best basketball player on the planet right now. Back-to-back MVP. Dominant on both ends of the floor in a way very few players in WNBA history have ever been. And after the...
Yeah, it's fun. Anytime we can compete against each other. We're two competitors who just want to win and who have grown up to be playing against each other, playing with each other. So it's great. And the environment's great here. I feel like every game is a sellout. And so they have a great home court advantage. So overall, yeah, great environment.
Paige, have you talked to Caitlin at all? Is she went through some of the injury stuff that she has this year? Have you talked to her, offered any support or anything like that?
No, I haven't talked to her personally, but I know she's got a great team around her. She works extremely hard. She has a great work ethic, sending prayers. You don't wish injury upon anyone.
Despite ultimately losing the game to Clark and the Fever, Beckers had nothing but good to say about Clark's work ethic.
2024 All-Star Game, where Wilson herself dropped 34 points in the second half alone and claimed her second All-Star MVP. The player she wanted to talk about in her post-game interview was Caitlin Clark. She called her one of my favorite players in the league, said she used their time together during the All-Star break to pick Clark's brain, just to understand how she thinks and moves as a teammate. Think about that for a second. The reigning MVP, the most dominant force in women's basketball, is studying a rookie's mind. That alone should tell you everything you need to know. Then there's Kelsey Plum, the woman whose NCAA scoring record Clark shattered on national television during her final season at Iowa. If anyone had a reason to carry resentment, it was Plum. Instead, she publicly cheered Clark on while she was in the process of breaking it, called her a young woman with feelings who deserved the space to do something historic. Later on Lisa Leslie's podcast, Plum described the road atmosphere Clark generates as unlike anything she'd ever experienced. The packed arenas, the energy, the feeling that every game Clark plays in is an event. And then there's Paige Buchers, the player many see as Clark's closest generational rival. Same draft class energy, Same level of basketball IQ. Their matchups in 2025 and 2026 became some of the best individual battles the league had seen in years. But even after falling to Clark in the Fever, Buchers went out of her way to praise Clark's work ethic, her resilience through injuries, and the sellout environment she creates at every arena she steps into. When your rivals, the players whose records you erased, and the best player in the entire world are all independently saying the same thing about you, that's not manufactured hype. That's a unanimous verdict. But the spotlight Clark carried came with a pressure that most people watching from the outside never fully appreciate. Here's where the story goes from impressive to genuinely hard to believe. Clark's impact on the WNBA isn't just notable, it's historically unprecedented. In 2024, over 54 million viewers tuned into WNBA broadcasts across the season. Fever home games averaged over 17,000 fans per night. League-wide attendance surged by 4 times compared to the previous year. Clark's jersey outsold every single WNBA player and trailed only Steph Curry across all of basketball, men's and women's combined. Her economic impact on the city of Indianapolis alone was estimated at over $36 million in a single season. An autographed Caitlin Clark rookie card sold at auction for $660,000, the most expensive women's sports card in history. The 11 largest WNBA television audiences recorded since 2001 all have one thing in common: Caitlin Clark was playing. And when she wasn't, the numbers told a brutal story. During her injury absence in 2025, Fever viewership cratered by over 50%. The WNBA All-Star Game held without her lost more than a third of its audience compared to the year before. The league responded to this wave by locking in an 11-year, $2.2 billion media rights deal, expanding to 15 franchises, and pushing through the largest collective bargaining agreement in league history. All of it accelerated in what people are now openly calling the Caitlin Clark era. But just when the momentum felt unstoppable, everything nearly came crashing down. Clark opened the 2025 season like she had something personal to prove. Game 1, a dominant triple-double, the kind of performance that makes you lean forward in your seat and think this season is going to be special. Then her body started failing her, a quad strain first, then a groin injury, then ankle problems. 4 separate muscle injuries stacked on top of each other across one brutal stretch. This from a player who had never missed a single game in her entire college career or her rookie year in the WNBA. She was limited to just 13 games, but even banged up, clearly not herself, running on sheer competitive will more than anything physical. She still averaged 16.5 points, 8.8 assists, 5 rebounds, and 1.6 steals per game. Numbers that most healthy players in this league would kill for. The Fever eventually made the tough call to shut her down before the postseason. They still made the semifinals without her, which spoke volumes about the foundation she'd helped build. But 2025 will always carry a massive what if over it. What if she'd stayed healthy? What would those numbers have looked like over a full season? Nobody got to find out. But when 2026 arrived, Clark came back with the kind of energy that told everyone watching. She remembered every single doubt, every whispered question about her durability, every pundit who wondered out loud if she could hold up physically in this league. Step back from the basketball for a moment and look at where Caitlin Clark sits in the broader cultural landscape. She was named to Time's 100 Most Influential People in Sports for 2026. She served as Grand Marshal of the 110th Indianapolis 500. The state of Iowa officially declared February 22nd Caitlin Clark Day. She's appeared at the center of national conversations that stretch far beyond the court, debates about race, media fairness, gender equity in sports, and what it means when one player's popularity outpaces the infrastructure of an entire league. She's 24 years old. She's played roughly 60 professional games. And she has already rewritten more records, generated more revenue, shifted more television ratings, and sparked more cultural conversations than players who have spent an entire decade building their legacies in this league. Every person who doubted her eventually came around. Every opponent who dismissed the hype walked off the court thinking something different. Every single measurable metric, points, assists, records, ratings, revenue, attendance, cultural reach, points in one undeniable direction. And here's the part that should genuinely make the rest of the league lose sleep at night. She hasn't even entered her prime yet. What happens when a player who's already rewriting history at 24 hits her peak at 27 or 28 is something this league, and maybe this entire sport, has never had to prepare for. That's it for this one. Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this one hit different, smash the like button, subscribe, share it with someone who needs to see it, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Before going further, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. It really helps us keep bringing you the content you love. Share this video with your friends so they don't miss out on all the drama and excitement.